Hello everyone, how are you today? It's Kay. So this is the 14th of November on Sunday. So today, as usual, we do every week, I will cover the Forex pairs and gold and WTI crude oil and also indices. Also, the news for next week for today's topic. So let's get started right away. So let me turn my window to see the desktop here. Alright, and before starting here, just as quick disclaimer as usual, the content is based on my own experience knowledge. So when you take trades, please do at your own risk. And also, since this is live stream, if you can please follow the guidelines and rules in this live stream, that will be great. Okay, so let me turn to the trading view and see what can happen next week. So every weekend and on Monday, I watch the weekly chart. And every day, I monitor the daily chart or the lower time frames. So today, let's check the Forex pairs on my watch list, 21 Forex pairs based on the weekly time frame, so that we know which way the market's going on the weekly time frame basis. Because most likely in the lower time frames, the market moves toward that direction, so it's good to know. So first, this is EURUSD, and this is going bearish. The market broke the Kumo, and now it's going down. The Kumo down, Kijun Sen, Tenkan Sen down, and Chikou span below the candles, so this is bearish. So we can expect the bearish downtrend next week. So I will continuously look for the sell chance on EURUSD next week. So let me mark this one purple so that you know this is trending down on the weekly chart. Alright, so let's move on to the next one, which is EURAUD. EURAUD has been ranging. Last week was the pin bar, and this is no trend right now. The Kumo flat, Kijun Sen, Tenkan Sen flat, and Chikou span touching, overlapping the previous candle. So this is ranging, and most likely there will be no trend next week. So my priority will be lower in this pair. And the next one is Euro Pound. Euro Pound is also flat ranging right now. The Kumo sloping down, so in the long term it's bearish, but in a short mid-term it's flat right now, and Chikou span too close with the candle, and this is ranging. So last week was bearish, but next week we're not sure which way it's going. So simply I will put this one as a lower priority also next week. And the AUDJPY in the lower time frames downtrending, but in a weekly time frame it's flat. The Kumo flat, Kijun Sen, Tenkan Sen flat, and Chikou span is too close. So this is ranging. The market is just going up and down. And since for the last weeks it's been downtrending, next week could be downtrend. So if I see downtrend in the lower time frame, I look for the sell. But if it turns bullish, then I won't take any trades. And it might happen because if you look at the lines, you can draw the line here, at 130.59, which was a previous resistance and previous support. So in that sense, next week it might bounce at this level and goes up this way, or simply breaks and goes into the Kumo. So, but technically we're not sure which way it's going. So I think EURUSD, I put this one as a lower priority also. So moving on to EURUCAD, this one is a bit bearish because the Kumo sloping down, the price is below Tenkan Sen, Kijun Sen, and Chikou span below the candles. But one thing is that the market is near the previous support level, which was marked on the February 2020. So and now looks like it's going backwards. It's pushing backwards. So in this case, next week could be bullish because the Kijun Sen flat, and it might retrace back to the Kijun Sen for next week or next week. So if I see uptrend in the lower time frame, I will buy. But if the market breaks the support level, then I will look for the sell chance in the lower time frame. So let's see which way it's going. Right now, for the last 4 weeks, has been ranging, and we don't see any trends here. So simply I stay away on the lower time frames. The next one is EURUSD franc. EURUSD franc has been downtrending also. The Kumo's down. The price is below Tenkan-sen, Kijun-sen, and Chikou span below the candles. So if I squeeze the chart, the market is near the previous support level also at 1.0507 area, which was support from the May 2020. So the market might bounce and goes up. So this one is also similar to EURUSD AD. If market goes up next week, then it could retrace back to Tenkan-sen or Kijun-sen. So if I see uptrend in lower time frames, I will take a buy. Or otherwise, I simply wait for the breakout of the support level, again 1.0507, and look for the sell chance afterwards. So let's see which way it goes next week. And the next one is USD pairs. So AUDJPY is up trending right now. The Kumo's up, Kijun-sen is up, and price is above the Tenkan-sen, and Chikou span above the candles. So this is still uptrending. So I can still see that there are more buyers than sellers in the market, and it's about to break the resistance level. So if I mark the resistance level more clearly, that will be exactly here, 114.75 area. So if I see uptrend next week on the lower time frame, then I expect the market breaks the resistance. So for myself, I will look for the buy chance. But if the market reverses, I won't sell because this is bullish at the moment on the weekly chart. So we have to follow a major direction as always, like this way. And because that will be the best way to get the most return as soon as possible. Moving on to USDCAD, the market is now flat ranging. The Kumo flat, Kijun-sen, Tenkan-sen flat right now, and Chikou span is too close to the candle, so this is ranging, and no trend and no trace. The market is also into the Kumo, and this is very difficult to see which way it's going. In the lower time frame for the last 3 weeks was uptrending. So in the lower time frame we see uptrend, but it might turn bearish anytime soon. Now the price is resisted by the Tenkan-sen, so it might retrace backwards and go down. So it's hard to say which way it's going right now, so simply I stay away. I put this pair as a lower priority also. So the next one is USD Swiss franc, and this one is also ranging. So I have been talking about this pair for many weeks. It's been ranging, so I simply stay away from this one also. Alright, moving on to pound dollars. Pound dollar is now bearish in price action, but the Kumo flat and the Kijun-sen, Tenkan-sen start to point down, and the Chikou span below the candles. So this is bearish, and I expect the market go down this way and it might break the Kumo next week. So, but before the Kumo breakout, I look for the sell chance because in the lower time frame it's going down, and also lower highs and lower lows. This is nice bearish market. So I expect the market moves bearish on this reversed N waves like this way. So I expect the market continuously go down. So that means if I see downtrend in the lower time frame, I look for the sell chance next week. And let's move on to pound JPY. Pound JPY was downtrending last week, but last week was doji. There was no trend last week. And Kumo flat. Kumo is up actually, sorry. Senko span B is up, but the Senko span A flat, and Kijun-sen, Tenkan-sen flat, and Chikou span is overlapping. So this is ranging. So we are not sure which way it's going. It might go up or it might go down, and it's hard to tell. So simply pound JPY will be my low priority for next week. So let's move on to the next one, pound AUD. Pound AUD is also ranging for the last 2 weeks, and the Kumo is flat. Kijun-sen, Tenkan-sen is crossover now. It's dead cross, but since dead cross happens above the Kumo, this might be fake and the market might go up instead. But the Chikou span is touching, and the market is kind of pushing backwards now. So my expectation is to the retracement to the Tenkan-sen next week. So the market could go up to Tenkan-sen next week. So if I see uptrend in the lower time frames, I will look for the buy chance. Otherwise, I will stay away. So the next one is Pound CAD. Pound CAD is now bearish, but this is a bit tricky market because last week was bearish, the last week was bullish, and for the 3 weeks it's been bearish, and it just broke the previous support level on the week. So now this is bearish. The Kumo sloping down, and the Tenkan-sen, Kijun-sen bearish, and Chikou span below the candles. So I expect the market to continuously go down this way next week. But once it breaks the trend line, then I will simply stay away. So just in case, I will just mark this one also. And if I see downtrend in the lower time frames, I look for the sell chance. So let's move on to Pound Swiss franc. Pound Swiss franc last week broke the Kumo, but now it's reversing back to Kumo. But I can see that there is a long wick pointing upwards and kind of resisted by this Senko span B level. So my view is bearish. I think the market goes down bearish next week. So looking for the sell chance. But in terms of Ichimoku lines, Kumo flat, Kijun-sen, Tenkan-sen flat. So it's range, but Chikou span below the candles, so this is bearish. But one thing you have to be careful is that the market is near the previous resistance level from the June 2020. So in that sense, it might turn bullish from here. So simply I wait for the breakout of 1.2260 and look for the sell chance afterwards next week. So now let's move on to AUD pairs. So AUDUSD, this one is also ranging. It's just going up and downwards, and I don't see any trend in the weekly chart. But one thing is that it's about to break the Kumo. So most likely next week, Kumo breakout can happen on the weekly chart, and my view is bearish. So that means if I see a downtrend in the lower time frame next week, I will look for the sell chance. Otherwise, I will simply stay away. And the next one is AUDCAD. This one is also bearish, and now this is in descending P wave. So the market might go up or down. But since this is bearish, because the Kumo down, Kijun-sen down, Chikou span below the candles, my view is bearish. So simply I wait for the breakout of the support level 0.9104 and look for the sell chance in the lower time frames. So let me just mark this one also in purple so that you know that this is also trending market on the weekly chart. And let's see, let's move on to the next one, AUDJPY. Yep, so here is AUDJPY, and now this is, it retraces backwards, and this is bearish. So on the weekly chart, it's flat. But one thing is that the market is retracing back to the Kijun-sen. So if I see downtrend in the lower time frames, then my target is the Kijun-sen, which is 82.08. I expect the market bearish, and my target will be 82.08 by this weekly Kijun-sen. But if the market turns bullish next week, then I have to follow the uptrend on the lower time frames. But my view is bearish, so I think that will be a great chance. So the next one is AUD Swiss franc. This one is ranging right now. The Kumo flat. Kijun-sen is, I think it's downtrending, but the market is just broke the Kumo downwards. But since the market has been ranging, the Kumo breakout can be fake, and it might go up next week. But so basically we're not sure which way it's going because this is not trending on either direction, so simply I stay away. And the next one is CADJPY. So CADJPY is now also retracing back to Kijun Sen on the weekly chart. So if I sell next week, target will be at the Kijun Sen level, which is going to be 88.85. So yeah, so that will be my target, and I look for the sell chance next week. AUDJPY. And the next one is CAD Swiss franc. This one is more ranging right now. The Kumo flat, Kijun Sen is down, but since the market is too close to the Kijun Sen, most likely I will stay away. And the last one is Swiss franc JPY. Swiss franc JPY is also bullish still because the market is above Tenkan Sen, Kijun Sen, and Kumo, and Chikou span above the candles. But it might retrace back to Kijun Sen. Last week was bearish, so the scenario in this case would be, hold on, let me see. Let me redo the arrows. So if market goes down next week in the lower time frames, then the target will be Kijun Sen on the weekly chart, which is 121.54. But if I were to look for buy, I would prefer to wait for the breakout of this pin bar, 125.51, and then look for the buy chance afterwards. But if either scenario won't happen, then I will most likely stay away from this one. So that was my overview for these 21 pairs on my watch list on the weekly chart. Yeah, so once again, thank you for joining, everyone. Good to see you, as always. So I will come back to this comment on the chat after I do the analysis. So please stay tuned, and hopefully you enjoy this analysis until the end of the live today. So now let's move on to commodity gold. So here is the gold analysis, and this is on the weekly chart. So on the weekly basis, it's up. So last week for the last 2 weeks has been strongly bullish, and it's about to break the Kumo. And I have been talking about this market. If the market breaks the previous resistance level, 1831.89, I will look for the buy chance. And it happened last week. The market broke this level, and now it's going up. And so next, the market could break the Kumo on the weekly and continue to be bullish next week. So my view is bullish. So I continuously look for the buy chance on this particular market. But if it goes bearish, then I won't sell because this is bullish right now in the lower time frame. So let me switch to the daily chart right now. So here is the daily chart, and this is bullish right now. The Kumo is flat, Kijun Sen, Tenkan Sen flat, so it might retrace back to the Tenkan Sen. So most likely I will look for the buy chance after the breakout of the resistance level, which is 1868.27. Then I look for the buy chance. Otherwise, I might look for the sell, and target will be the Kijun Sen on the daily chart. But I think buy will be my view here. So most likely I look for the buy chance after the breakout next week. So finally gold's moving for Ichimoku trend. So I start to look for the buy chance now. And if I place a buy, then I will show it to everyone on this YouTube so that you know I'm buying gold then. Alright, so let's move on to the next one, which is WTI. Crude oil, this one is now retracing backwards on the weekly chart. The Tenkan Sen is up, Kijun Sen flat, and Kumo is up. And Chikou span above the candles. So technically this is still bullish, but now it's retracing backwards. So my analysis would be the market retraces back to this Kijun Sen and then bounces and goes up in this way. So I will take out this old arrow, and this is my view. Because the Kumo shows long-term market direction, and also Tenkan-sen shows short-term market direction. So since Tenkan-sen and Kumo are both uptrending, market retracing backwards now, but it might go up by bounced by this Tenkan-sen next week or next week. So this is bullish. So I think pushback can happen by the Tenkan-sen next week. So that is my view on WTI. So now let's move on to some indices. So let's go to index, and first I cover Nikkei weekly chart. So JP225 Nikkei has been ranging right now. The Kumo is flat, Tenko span B is up, but Tenkan-sen, Kijun-sen flat, and Chikou span is still with the candle, so this is still flat. But next week, Chikou span breakout can happen, and if it happens, then we might start to see bullishness in the market. So yeah, if that's the case, the market could go up to the previous resistance level. But so far, this is ranging. This is on the P wave structure now. So most likely, the market will be ranging, or there will be no trend next week. So now let's move on to Dow Jones. Dow Jones is now bullish still. It has been bullish for the last couple of weeks. Last week was bearish, but this is continuously bullish. So I see Kumo's up. Not only Kumo, but also precisely Senko span B is up, and Senko span A is up, and Kijun-sen, Tenkan-sen both upwards, and Chikou span above the candles. So I don't see any sign of retracement at the moment. So simply I expect the market continuously be bullish like this way. So the next one is Nasdaq. Nasdaq is also bullish because of the same reason as Dow Jones. Senko span B is up and A is up. Kijun-sen, Tenkan-sen both upwards, and Chikou span above the candles. But one thing is that there is a engulfing structure. So this is inside bar engulfing structure. So technically we want to wait until the market breaks either direction. If the market breaks upwards, then it continues to be up. But if the market breaks downwards, then it retraces back to Tenkan-sen most likely. So yeah, we better basically wait for the breakout towards either direction and decide whether to buy or sell. And the next one is S&P 500. So this one also has been bullish, as I have been mentioning for a couple of weeks in the past. It has been bullish, and there is no sign of retracement. The Kumo is up, Kijun-sen is up, Tenkan-sen flat, and Chikou span above the candles. And we also see that there is an engulfing structure. This is inside bar engulfing. So I wait for the market to break that level, break the engulfing upwards, which is 4721.2 level, then buy. Otherwise, it might retrace back to the Tenkan-sen level, which is 4501.9 level. So let's see which way it's going, but most likely I think it's be bullish continuously. So the next one is EUROSTOXX. EUROSTOXX is also bullish. Now the Kumo's up, Kijun-sen, Tenkan-sen is up, and Chikou span above the candles, so it's bullish now. There is no sign of retracement, so continuously looking for the buy chance will be the right decision. And FTSE 100 also bullish. The Kumo's up, Kijun-sen, Tenkan-sen up, and they are overlapping. It's showing strong bullishness when you see Tenkan-sen, Kijun-sen overlap like this way, and Chikou span above the candles. So overall, market is bullish, and we can continuously look for the buy chance along the way. And same true in CAC France. CAC France is also bullish now on the weekly chart. The Kumo's up, Kijun-sen, Tenkan-sen up, and Chikou span above the candles. So I think next week also will be bullish. And DAX index also bullish too. It slightly broke the previous resistance level of 16,030.2. So now it's bullish. The Kumo's up, Kijun Sen Tenkan-sen up, and Chikou span above the candles. So it's bullish right now. There was a nice Chikou span bounce by the previous candle, and it shows that this is continuously bullish trend too. So I will just mark this one also in purple. And the next one is Nifty chart. Nifty is also bullish in the weekly chart because the Kumo's up, Kumo Senko span B is up, and Senko span A up, and Kijun Sen is up, and Chikou span above the candles. So as I mentioned last week, the key was whether the market bounces by Tenkan-sen or not. And looks like the market bounced the Tenkan-sen and now it's going up. So I think that was a nice pushback, and next week bullish market will be expected, and it might renew higher even more. So next one is AU200 Australia, and AU200 is now still in range in P wave. The Kumo Senko span B is up, the Senko span A flat, and Kijun Sen flat. Tenkan-sen retracing backwards, and Chikou span is getting closer to the candles, so it's being retracing backwards now in its range. So that means we are not sure which way it's going on this particular market. So, and also like I mentioned last week, the market is in the P wave, so we better wait for the breakout towards either direction in this market. Alright, and next one is Hang-Sen Index. Hang-Sen is also ranging. This is Kumo flat, Kijun Sen flat, and the market is below the Kijun Sen, so it's flat and ranging, and no trend and no trace. Alright, so that covers the whole indices for next week on the weekly chart. So now let's move on to the news for next week. We don't have many news next week, so I think basically we can trade by these technical analysis and indicators next week. But briefly touching Monday tomorrow on the 15th of November, there will be meeting minutes on RBA, so AUD can be affected by this. And next week, next day, Tuesday the 16th, there will be this unemployment rate in UK, the pound, you have to watch out. And also Tuesday we have GDP report in Euro itself, so Euro pairs, you have to watch out. And also we have retail sales in the US, so USD pairs, you have to watch out on Tuesday. And moving on to Wednesday, we have also CPI report in UK, the pound pairs, you have to be careful. And also there will be another CPI in Canada, so CAD pairs can be affected on next Wednesday. And moving on to Thursday, November 18th, we have no big news. We have some minor news, but there is no big news in the market. And also Friday, 19th, next week, we have ECB President Lagarde speech. So Euro pairs, you have to watch out. And then retail sales in Canada, so CAD pairs can be affected. But so these are the news for next week, but these are relatively like minor news. So yes, we have to watch out. We have to check news before we trade, because we never know how big the impact can be on these news. But as compared to last week or last week, I think this week's news are relatively like smaller impact. So I think we better look more into the price action and Ichimoku lines to take trades. It's my view. Alright, so that covers the whole topics for today. So let me come back to some comments and just chat for the next couple minutes. All right, so once again, thank you for joining everyone on today's live stream. This is 14th of 11, November on Sunday. So let's see. All right, Jalash, good to see you. Thank you for joining. He says, Sensei, could you show your RSI and Bollinger Band settings? I don't use RSI, but I do use stochastics. In stochastics, I use 30-10-10. Percent K30, percent D10, and slowing 10. And I have double Bollinger Bands, and one band is 20 SMA with deviation 1, and another one is 20 SMA with deviation 2 is my Bollinger Band setting. And I do use this in the lower time frames only, so I don't use it with the Ichimoku because these are for my entry confirmations. So briefly speaking about my strategy, I use Ichimoku to capture this bigger picture in the market. So I use Ichimoku on the weekly or daily or forward chart in higher time frames. But when it comes to looking for exact entry timing, I look at the lower time frames, which are 5 or 15 minute time frames, and I use price action lines and Bollinger Bands, stochastics, and Fibonacci, and other tools. Because in the lower time frames, the market goes very fast, moving up and down, and oftentimes it's more volatile than higher time frames. So I prefer to use these tools than Ichimoku in the lower time frames. But when it comes to capturing the trend directions and capturing which market is trending, which market is ranging, and when the market starts to trend, when the market starts to be in the range, can be captured nicely by Ichimoku in higher time frames. So that's basically how I analyze and take trades every week. All right, let's see. Hi, Popcorn. Thank you for joining Ichimoku community. So once you join my Ichimoku community on YouTube, then please make sure to access to this page, how to join K's Ichimoku community. So you can find it on my website under services under Ichimoku community. You find how to join, and on this page you find the full instruction of how you can join this Discord. So please follow the instruction and join Discord to get all the perks. But once again, thank you for joining, Popcorn, and stay gold. So recently, I have been doing the chapter-by-chapter review on my Ichimoku community of my book, Ichimoku Basic Master Book. So we just did the review on chapter 2, and next week will be chapter 3 review. So hopefully you enjoy my book review in the community. All right, so let's see. All right, good to see you, everyone. Thank you for joining. If you liked it, please press the like button before you leave so that it keeps me going. That would be great. All right, good to see you, everyone. Thank you for joining. I do see many comments, so it's always nice to see everyone in this community. All right, let's see. John Hera says, which time frame do you recommend for those who only have a minute to analyze the market before work? You can use daily chart or the forward chart like I do, because if you ask me to screen all these pairs, 21 pairs on my watch list on the daily chart or the forward chart, it only takes like 2 minutes or so to screen all these 21 pairs, because my analysis is very simple but very powerful. So I think it's just a matter of how you screen charts and how you take trades than which time frame to look at. But if you want to trade quickly, enter and exit very quickly, then I recommend you to trade by the lower time frames. But let's say before you go to work, you analyze, and let's say you find a nice trend, nice market, and you just go in with a stop loss. You come back to chart maybe on the lunchtime after a couple of hours. So if you trade in that style, then you can still use the daily chart and hold it within the day. So that will be an intraday trader, and you can do so on these higher time frames. But I think the screening time should be very, very small. If your screening time is taking like 30 minutes or 1 hour, then that will be too long. You don't want to sit in front of the charts for more than like 15 minutes. Yeah. If you sit down on the chart, in front of the chart more than 15 minutes, then you better change the way you screen charts, because it's not time efficient. So as I mentioned before on the live streams or videos, time efficiency is very important to success. All right, good to see you everyone. Thank you for joining. So this is a free conversation time after the full review on these Forex pairs and gold, WTI, and indices for today's topic. So let me cover some of the comments on the chat. Let's see. John Hera says, when trending, do you trade when all time frames to be trending, or trade when daily is up and 4 is down? There is no situation that the daily is up but 4 is down. Most likely when daily is up, then 4 should be flat. In my definition. In my Ichimoku definition, it's like that. So if you see daily is up but 4 is down, then maybe your view is a bit wrong. Sometimes daily is flat but 4 is up, it's possible. But it's hard to find where daily is up or 4 is down. If you find that situation, then please take a screenshot and send it to me by email, then I can review it. But most of the cases, if daily is up and 4 should be flat. Unless there's a high spiky volatile market where I will most likely stay away in that situation anyways. All right, yeah, good to see you. Thank you for joining everyone. This is a relaxing Sunday, nighttime in Dubai here. All right, good to see you here. All right. For those only being able to trade on an app, which one would you recommend? First, TradingView. TradingView is a great tool to screen charts. So I do highly recommend to analyze in TradingView. Yeah, let's see. Hello everyone. Yes, you're welcome. Thank you for joining as always. This is 14th of November 2021 on Sunday. So I hope you're having a great weekend right now. So this is in the middle of November now. So in 1.5 months, we are towards the year end. That will be the end of 2021. So it will be the time to review your trades for the year. All right, you're welcome everyone. Yes, thank you for joining. Thank you for the comments as always. Yeah, good luck with our trades tomorrow. Yeah, good luck with our trades next week. Yes. Milos says, Mr. K, how many candles of the opposite color should form before it can be considered a pushback? The pushback can be captured on one single candlestick. So like in this way, if you see this big bullish candle, this is a pushback. Or if you see this, like in this case, the market was flat for 2 weeks, but on the third week, it broke the previous high and now it's bullish. So like on one single candlestick, you can see the pushback and pullback. Ash says, pound dollar weekly chart, do you think there is support at 1.334? All right, let me see. Pound USD 1.334 would be, let's see here, down here. So around this area, let's see. Yeah, you're right. There was some previous resistances. So there was resistance week high pointing upwards once and twice and 3 times and 4 times before. So and the market is now in the previous resistance zone. So yeah, in that sense, it might be spiky or it might be tricky next week. So in this case, I draw the horizontal line like this because I see these are the candle close on this level, and also the week high was previously marked on these 2 eyes here. So I think I will just keep this line and see if it bounces or breaks. If it breaks, then I will look for the sell chance. All right, yeah, let's see. All right, yes, good to see you. Thank you for joining, everyone, as always. So let me cover some other comments now on the chat. All right, let's see. Right, so hold on, let me see. Okay, so the next comment I want to pick is from Carbon Fibonacci. He says, hi Kason, why does Kumo twist is not part of positive signal or Koten or Gyakuten? Yeah, that's a good question. So in terms of Kumo breakout, like EURUSD weekly chart, it just broke the Kumo downwards. And at the Kumo breakout, that was Sanyaku Gyakuten signal, which is considered to be a continuous downtrend to the future. But Kumo twist is not a part of Sanyaku Gyakuten signal because in Sanyaku Gyakuten, it takes the Tenkan-sen, Kijun-sen, dead cross, and Chikou span breakout and Kumo breakout. And Kumo twist is not a part of the Sanyaku Gyakuten signal, but it's important. If you see the Kumo twist, then that also shows that the market is now in a bearish mode. So, and sometimes the Kumo twist happens before the Kumo breakout, or it happens after the Kumo breakout. So the Kumo breakout itself is important, but the Kumo twist is like a supportive information. It's supportive information. So that means if you see the Kumo twist before the Kumo breakout happens, then you can expect the Kumo breakout can happen soon. But if there is no Kumo twist before the Kumo breakout, then the Kumo breakout might not gonna happen, or it might be range, and it may take a bit more time for the Kumo breakout. So that's one of the ways to look at the Kumo twist. And also, if Kumo twist happens after the Kumo breakout, then that means the market most likely trend down continuously, because that will be the right order. So technically, in order, the Tenkan-sen, Kijun-sen cross should happen first, and then Chikou span breakout should happen next, and then Kumo breakout happened the third, and then Kumo twist happened the fourth. So this is technically the right order, or it's stable downtrend confirmation. But once again, sometimes you see the Kumo twist before the Kumo breakout, and that shows a strong indication for this continuous downtrend. So that's the difference in this on these different signals like this. All right, let's see. Yeah, good to see you, everyone. Thank you for joining. Ash says, Kay, do you even screen time cycle after filtering it out, the trending pairs in the weekly chart? Yes, I do. Yes. So, yeah, during the day, during the week, I watch the market on the daily chart, and I do look at it on the weekly, on the daily time cycles. All right, let's see. Yeah, the winner says gold, bull or bear. I think it's bullish. Gold is bullish, and I'm looking for the buy chance next week. Bruno says, which floor are you staying at? Looks very high. Oh, this floor right now is 76 floor. It's very high. It's like a 300 meters tall. It's right here, very high. Yes, but I don't feel it's so high because the buildings around are also very high. But it's definitely a nice view, especially at night. It's very beautiful. All right, so let's see. Roge says, hi Kay, quick question. Have you ever tried a Kijun-sen retracement? I've been watching a BNF video for like 12 times. Oh, 12 times you watched the video of the BNF, okay? And you said he uses 25 MA retracement. Yeah, back then he was using that strategy when he was, newbie for the trading. But later he became a trend follower, so he doesn't use the retracement strategy. But I do use Kijun-sen retracement strategy. So let's say I think I saw some pairs Kijun-sen retracement. So let's see, which one was it? Oh yeah, like this one, AUDJPY. I see the market is going down on the weekly chart, and this is retracing back to the Kijun-sen. So let's say if I find the daily chart or the forward chart to be downtrending, looks like 4 is down now. So I follow the forward chart downtrend, and target will be on the weekly Kijun-sen. So I take trades like that way. Yeah, but the thing about the BNF's strategy is that he doesn't talk much about his strategy in details. And his way of trading is very flexible to the market. He watches many pairs and many markets, and he reads news every day. And his analysis was so deep from different angles and different informations. So, and he changed his style. So it's almost like he has some strategies, but he doesn't follow always his strategy. Like I think his strength is to be flexible in the market, and he was a very, very intuitive trader. So I think his style is a bit difficult to explain. But I have learned a lot from his trades. That's for sure. Like looking back, your own trades is also I learned from him, and also how to hold the positions for a long time is also something I learned from him. When to exit, when to decide to exit is also I learned from him. So he gave me lots of inspirations. But in terms of exactly what kind of strategies he used, he doesn't talk much, and also he changes over time. So he's not really sticking to one single strategy. All right, so yeah, I guess that's it for today's live stream. So Once again, thank you for joining, everyone. And I hope you have a great rest or weekend. And rest well, charge yourself, and get ready to trade next week. So until I see you everybody next week, please stay healthy, stay safe, and stay gold, everyone. Bye for now, everyone. Thank you. またね。